Now I have turned those mint leaves into a powder, and so this is not a very fine powder, and I don't want to make it into a fine powder either. It's just the powder of the leaves, so whatever small bits you are seeing, I'm going to use everything. This is smelling so minty that it is reminding me of one of the famous Indian street food, which is called golgappas or pani puri. Some of you might be knowing it already. This powder can be used for chutney or pesto, and you can try adding it to curries, casseroles, stews, or you can use it in the marinade and use it as a rub for racks of lambs or for any chicken recipe, or you can simply sprinkle it over soups, salads, cooked veggies, fresh fruits and yogurts. Do try this method and let me know how did you like it. Hi there. Today we are talking about making mint leaves powder. Now mint, if you are growing directly in your garden like this, it does spreads all over, and you can have huge amount of mint leaves. And the best way, because here in UK you will get it only during the summer period, so it would be better if you're storing it in the form of powder or maybe dried mint leaves. Now if it's very easy to make powder out of it once you've got mint leaves already dried, but I'm going to show you a quickest way to dry your mint leaves. Okay, and now here is the quickest method I was talking about. Now what I have seen is many people just after washing, they just tie it in the bunches like this in the dark place and leave it there for a couple of days for drying. But if you try to dry these mint leaves like that, the thing is, these leaves try to use the moisture in the stem and try to remain fresh for a longer time. Okay, so they try to feed on this and they do not get dry quickly. Now I have removed all these mint leaves and I'll let it dry for a couple of days or until it is completely dry, and then it's easy to make a powder out of it. This will go in my compost, and this is how the leaves will look after 3 days of drying. If you ask me the total time required for drying, it's 3.5 days approximately. So in as early as 4 days time you can dry mint leaves rather than 2 weeks if you hang it in benches. I would say this is the quickest and healthiest way of drying mint leaves. Now one thing I want to tell you here is, although you can hear the sound that these are dried completely, just look at the color. They are still looking nice and green, and this is how you want your mint leaves to look, not brown or not around the edges. They shouldn't be turning brown around the edges or something. Now one thing to note here is, if you see, if I try to crush them, okay, they are not turning into a powder straight away. Trust me, you want to keep them like that. This is when you have to try to make a powder out of it, and this is when you would find the flavor is intense. So once you achieve this much of dryness, okay, then go ahead and turn them into powder. This room is, I can say that this room is already smelling very minty. My hand is smelling very minty. I would recommend drying the leaves this way instead of hanging it in the benches. Just separate the leaves from the stem, and they will dry in almost as short as 3 days.